This is the next in a series of saving Vicki. This sad little mower I picked up for $30 from a salvage yard with no rewinder. It does appear to have compression, so I'm trying to turn it into something. I've got to clean out this tank and get it to where it'll prime, which I've already cleaned the tank out. I tried reinstalling the old diaphragm gasket because it seemed like it was in pretty good shape, but it didn't prime, so I didn't have much luck with that. So what we're going to do is install a new pair of the gasket and the diaphragm. Here is what the new ones look like. I work on mowers all the time, so I sometimes buy 10 of these at a time. So there's a pair. Diaphragm and the gasket. And the other day we cleaned out that screw hole there to make sure that the air filter screw will go to the bottom and not leave the air filter unattached. So this is my brand new diaphragm. I always like to look at these brand new diaphragms because they always seem to have a little bit of fiber right there at the end of my fingernail. And that may not interfere with anything, but sometimes I'll snip those off if I can get to them. And maybe just pull it off with my fingernail. Let's see. I guess I'll just leave it. It's not too bad. So the diaphragm goes on the tank. It touches the tank. And you never want any carb cleaner laying around here because it will mess up that little diaphragm. That'll shrink it up and then it won't work right. This is the gasket that comes with it, and it's ultra thin. And so what I do is I put it on there, and then I take the old gasket, if it's decent, and this one is, it's you know, it's not perfect or anything, but I want to have enough pressure on this to have a good seal. And this really thin gasket sometimes is not enough, and you end up having to go back and double up on the gaskets. So I'm cleaning some of this debris off of this old gasket there. You can see that stuff. Let me get that off of there. Okay, so now I've got two gaskets on this tank. So there's one and then there's two. Get these little holes lined up. All right, and now I've already cleaned the carburetor inside, and it sounds like the primer bulb's working good. I've already got the screws in the carburetor, so now I'm just going to angle this in like that with the primer bulb and where you pour the gasoline in on the same side. I'm holding this gasket diaphragm in place. I'm trying to anyway. And then hopefully these little screws will kind of line up. They appear to have dropped into place. Now I get a small screwdriver to start this before I come at it with the Phillips head. Those seem to be going in pretty easily. Kind of a delicate thing, getting these started. because you don't want to have that diaphragm getting pinched by these screws where it's out of alignment with the holes and you know, getting pinched or bent, whatever, flipped over, that kind of thing. Getting all these little screws started. And I had poured kerosene that I use for testing these tanks. This is my jar. And there's enough in there where it'll be in contact with that uptake tube to where it'll pull it up if this carburetor is going to work right. So let me begin to tighten these down a little snugger. And because I've got 2 gaskets on there, I'm not getting any leakage around this carburetor, which also sometimes happens. And that helps prevent that. So now I can use my Phillips head and tighten these a little better, because I think everything is in alignment. All right, and get that going. Get that one where it's pretty snug. This one where it's pretty snug. Don't want to forget that one. Okay, so there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And you'll have 6 screws, or excuse me, not 6 screws, but you have 6 holes in the top of this tank. And the 6th of them is for the screw that holds the air filter on. Okay, so we got this, and I think it's ready to test for priming. You get a piece of newspaper. If this thing is going to prime the way I think it will, I hope it will, it's going to squirt out and hit this paper, and hopefully you'll be able to see that and hear it. Let's see what happens here. Yeah, let's do this. Put my little drill there. Now, hear that? And there's the fuel. Okay, so there's your kerosene coming out, and so this tank and carburetor combination is gonna prime. So all is well. So on to the next phase with Vicki. We're trying to rescue her from the salvage yard and turn her into a lawnmower.